stars, it's your girl Ivory Star, your favorite back alley astrologer with this week's Ratchet Astrology Report. We are talking about the new moon in Virgo, and I'm gonna touch a little bit on some other placements. We're gonna do a little bit of a retrograde recap so you guys know exactly which planets are in retrograde and how they might be affecting you right now. And ideas for your horoscopes this week. We are going to talk about houses, okay? I know, like, when you go through birth charts and stuff, you see houses and you're wondering what that means or what to do with those. Well, houses is exactly that. Who lives inside of a house? People. So houses really like determine how we move through life with our relationships and stuff like that. So for horoscopes on this video, I'm going to talk about houses and I'm going to do a collective card pull for your sign. So let's get into it. Is y'all getting the hang of this manifestation thing? Because I am. You know what I'm saying? Manifest, bam. Reap the benefits, full moon. Start over again on the next new moon. Bam. Reap those benefits. And that's how you reach your goals. You break down your big goals into small goals and bam, 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 bam. Knock that shit out, okay? But we're going to get into all of that, okay? Because I have a really soulful message that's really came from my spirit. And, just communing with my ancestors. Ancestor talk is so important, okay? That's where everything that's downloaded on the inside of you came before you. You understand what I'm saying? All that gumption and all that hard work and all that press and, all that intuition and, it comes from your ancestors. They there to help you. Those are your first spirit guides before you start tapping in anything else. And I'll share with you, one of my spirit guides happens to be Black Hawk. Okay. So if you don't know who Black Hawk is, look him up. That is one of my spirit guides. And the way that he was led to me was through my ancestors. I went on ancestry.com. And, I remember when I was younger and we would go to our family reunions and stuff in Mississippi, the place where they lived was Black Hawk, Mississippi. That's why it's important to get in touch with your ancestors because they have information for you. They have information for you. So if I wouldn't have never went looking for my ancestors or looking at my ancestry or trying to figure out where I came from, I wouldn't have known anything about Black Hawk, Mississippi or Black Hawk, Tennessee or Black Hawk, all over the place because he was a very famous indigenous Native American who, fought for a cause, okay? And, that's what he is. As a deity in hoodoo, he is the one for justice, luck, just the one that's going to show up for you on your behalf. So Black Hawk is one of my spirit guides. But before I can ever get to Black Hawk, I had to go through them ancestors, okay? So if you can, get as much information as you can on the ones who came before you, what they used to do. I come from entrepreneurs. I come from, where your fertility and all that come from. Where I got these kids running around here, you know what I'm saying? All that came from my ancestors through my line, okay? Learning things about myself and, just being able to motivate myself and get up thinking about the things that they went through. They had 5 kids, 6 kids, just like I got kids. You understand what I'm saying? And they still had to go through a much tougher time and hardship at a level of not being able to have any choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, for melanated people and people of color, America does not, they don't treat us right. But, we still are at a place where we have more choice now than they did then. So we need to take advantage of that, okay? If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay the fuck attention, okay? And that's on Sister Mary Clarence, periods. But let's talk about this new moon. Let's talk about this new moon. If you haven't got into the mind state of intention and manifesting, get into it now. Okay? Get into it. And before we even get started, let me start y'all off with an affirmation, okay? This is the affirmation for new moon. I will take time for myself to find clarity through inner reflections so I can achieve my goals, okay? I will take time for myself to find clarity through inner reflections so I can achieve my goals because Virgos are critical thinkers, they're detailed, and they are the rulers of the house of wellness and self-care. So this is your time to get into that, okay? So what is a new moon? Have I ever told you guys what new moon is? We know that the moon is dark, but do you know why it's dark? So the moon is directly between the earth and the sun. And its part that is lit up by the sun is facing the sun and the dark part is facing earth. So it appears black, darkened to us. So basically, when you think about the sun and the moon, the moon turns it back to us. We tell it what we want, and it gives it to the sun. So when it comes back in full moon and is fully exposed, we reap the harvest of what it is that we asked for. We see the work through the moon cycles when we get to the full moon, okay? So the light is away from the earth, it appears dark, and that is where we get our fresh start, setting our manifestations, wiping the slate clean. Anywhere you might have failed short, reflect on it, don't do it again, and get up and keep it moving, okay? So new moon in Virgo, fresh start, approach with caution because it's going to influence the rest of the month. That's what you need to understand about your new moon and when you set your intentions. It's going to set the mood for the rest of the month until you get to the full moon and reap your harvest. So it's up to you what you want to reap. Watch your mouth, watch your intentions, watch what you're saying, watch what you're speaking over yourself, watch what you're allowing others to put into your ears. It's time for a cleanse. You have to master this self-discipline thing. All this anything goes shit, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to go. It's not. That mindset has always been here. There's always been people in the world who have decided that, what's right ain't what's for them. You know what I'm saying? I decide what's right. But there does have to be some type of moral compass where you set the boundary of what's right and what's wrong for you, okay? In Virgo season and this new moon in Virgo, we want to appreciate our growth. Look at the areas that you have grown in. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see them, the theme is the devil is in the details, okay? And what I mean by the devil is in the details, we've heard older people say it. It's a popular cliche saying about the devil being in the details, okay? That means you have to go through, analyze the situation, analyze your routine, analyze your perspective, look at the way you've been doing things and looking at things, and look at the results that you have been getting. And that's where you'll find the devil in the details, where you keep fucking yourself up at, basically. You know what I'm saying? Not going to dress it up and make it sound cute. Where you keep fucking yourself up at. Where is it at? You know what I'm saying? There's always something that's like you're growing, you're going, and you're trying to get to where you're trying to get to, and something throws you off. And it might be a different situation, but I'm telling you, it's one thing, and it's something that's internally going on with you. It's not always everybody else. It might be something inside of you that's attracting the wrong people. It might be a habit or something that's attracting certain things into your life. It might be a generational curse that you need to break. It might be the people that you have attached yourself to, okay? But it's something going on with you, and the devil is in the details. So go back, use the Virgo season, use this new moon to reflect on the way that you do things. Everything from the time that you wake up. Take a week and look at your weekly routine from the time that you wake up to the time that you go to bed. What is it that you do? What do you do with the time that you have? Because Virgo season is about this new moon in Virgo, seeing the bigger picture, okay? Not getting caught up on so much of the little things, but looking into the little things to see how they are helping mold the bigger picture, okay? I thought about the story when I was reading about new moon in Virgo. I thought about the story of the children of Israel, and y'all remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or bad Negro. That's what my pastor used to say. And basically how they came to be in the Bible story, came to be famous during the Bible times, or how the story became to be known or whatever through the Bible, is basically the children of Israel have been kidnapped by, I believe, King Nebuchadnezzar. Don't quote me, okay? I don't know. But I believe it was King Nebuchadnezzar who had took the children of Israel and, was it Daniel? Daniel. Yes, Daniel. These are Daniel times. And these three young boys, he told them, no, do not eat the diet that he's giving those other people, okay? The diet that they trying to make us eat is because they trying to fatten us up for work. Don't eat that. We sticking to our fast, okay? So when the soldiers found out, you know how little foot soldiers is, you know how middlemen are. They went and they snitched on Daniel and the three boys, right? Like, they not eating. They said they don't want that. They just want vegetables and water. They don't want no meat. Nebuchadnezzar was trying to fatten them up for work, okay? But Daniel didn't eat this diet. He didn't let them eat this diet. And because of that, they were, pointed out and they were going to be persecuted. And that's what happens when you try to do the right thing with your life. It's like you get singled out every time. It could be 100 people who slide straight on through, but then as soon as it gets to you, skirt, wait a minute. Oh, you trying to do the right thing, then you can't do this like this. This has to be this way for you. You got to go this way. You might have to take a detour. You got to take another turn. You can't get straight through. So anyway, Daniel was doing this fast. And it's so popular. Churches still do it to this day, called the Daniel fast, okay? This diet that him and these boys were on. And they were persecuted for it. They tried to throw them in a hot-ass fire, and they did not burn up. Why? Because when you stick to the plan, you will be protected, okay? You are not here for no reason. A lot of the times we fuck ourselves up because we step away from the purpose. We let too many people talk in our ear and tell us what's for us based on what they see. You might look at me and you might see a strong girl, a smart girl, but when I look at myself in the mirror, I see a artist, and I see pain and I see trauma that I want to let out through my art and my music and stuff like that. But in your mind, no, you don't need to be doing that. You go do something else. You could be doing anything. And I could be doing anything. But you know what I want to do? I want to do my passion, and I want to do my purpose. I want to make these videos. I want to make music. I want to do art. I want to be at home with my children. I want to be a mother. There's other things that people, because they want to look at your status, they want to look at your monetary income that you bring in. They want to look at the way you dress and look at the way you live in. I'm not focused on buying clothes right now. I want to make my house look nice, okay? You know what I'm saying? You just get to a point in your life where you just got to live for you. Live for what feeds your soul and makes your soul happy. It's all about the bigger picture. Daniel and them 3 boys saw the bigger picture. Like, if we eat that shit, then we're going to be fat and they're going to be trying to put us to work. But if we stick to this, we're still going to be strong, but we're going to be spiritually strong because we're mastering self-discipline, okay? We got to learn how to discipline ourselves because we grown, so who else going to check us? We might have accountability purposes, but I'm talking about when you get behind closed doors and temptation really comes, okay? Because it comes while we around our peers and our friends and stuff like that, but it's a little bit easier to fight when somebody's watching you, right? Temptation is a lot easier to fight when somebody is watching you. But what about when you're at home by yourself behind closed doors? You got to see the bigger picture and connect with what's most important. It's time to prioritize, okay? Virgos know how to prioritize. They know how to put what needs to be put first, okay? They might talk themselves out of it if they are too much of a critical thinker and they haven't mastered being able to stop that train of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Virgos might get a little too judgy and too critical of themselves and others. But when they have evolved and they've mastered that, they know how to think on their feet and they know how to see shit through, okay? So it's about living with intention and not just setting them, okay? You can set all the intentions you want under this new moon. That don't mean none of them are going to come true. Some of them might turn into what? The should have, could have, and would have, okay? Aren't you tired of the should have, could have, and would have? Then stop setting intentions that you can't fulfill, okay? The universe can fulfill anything, but you have to set intentions that you can fulfill, that you can see yourself fulfilling. Okay, so we have to make sure that we are living with intention and not just setting them, okay? Because that's where we run into the should have, could have, would haves, okay? We don't want to keep doing that to ourselves because you really hurting yourself. You really traumatizing yourself when you keep setting intentions that you cannot meet or setting goals that you cannot meet and falling short. So take your big goals, break them down into small goals so you can meet them, because this new moon is all about passion and purpose, setting intentions that's going to get you close and inside the pocket with your passion and your purpose and the things that you really want to do, okay? It's all about connecting. You got to connect with yourself. And one way that you are going to be able to connect with yourself is connecting through nature. Remember, Virgo is an earth sign, okay? So it's always helpful to connect with nature, get in tune with nature, watch how the animals is moving, watch how the trees are growing, watch how everything changes and everything is consistent. You have to be consistent like that. As soon as it's time for fall to change, you see the leaves changing on the trees and falling off before the snow comes. You see the grass stop growing like clockwork. We didn't have to go out there and put our human hands into it for it to do it. It just did it because it's doing what it's meant to do. That's its purpose. And you have to get the same way. So get out in nature while it feel real good outside and get in tune with nature and watch nature and how it responds to, human activity and, you know, activity of the animals and weather. Just watch how nature responds to all those things. Get in tune so you can get in tune with you, okay? And remember, our affirmation that I said at the beginning, I will take time for myself to find clarity through inner reflection so I can achieve my goals. Heavy on the self-care, okay? And taking care of home because, like I said, Virgo rules over the 6th house of health and wellness. So that is what's being highlighted under this new moon being in Virgo. So have you been practicing listening to yourself? Like, honestly, I want to ask you, and you ask yourself, have you been actively practicing listening to your intuition and listening to yourself? Because you're going to need it in this season. When we're floating through this new moon onto the full moon, okay, you're going to need your intuition. It's not going to be all about reason and logic, okay? Being able to put things and piece things together internally, okay? It's not going to be based off of what we know in books and facts and things that we have been taught. You are going to have to depend on you and what you know, okay? So have you been actively practicing listening to yourself? Because it's real easy to get out of the practice and listen to your intuition and yourself. When you see babies, like when I watch my son, Jaleel, he just is all instinct, okay? He just does what he feels, okay? And whatever, you know, was internally telling him to do what he did. If he want to throw something, he just gonna fucking throw it. Now, I'm not telling you to throw something. You grown. He's learning life and he's learning how to navigate of the do's and the don't do's, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. He's a baby. But for you, are you actively practicing listening to your intuition and listening to yourself, or have the voices of your old teachers, your mama, your daddy, your auntie that don't like you on the low, your uncle who don't fuck with you like that? You know what I'm saying? The voices and all the things that they have said to you, are those the things that's lingering in your head? People all throughout your life telling you what you aren't going to be and what you are going to be. The curses of your parents following you around and haunting you and talking shit in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Are those the things that you listen to? Are you listening to that little voice on the inside of you that's being led by your soul and being led by your passion and your purpose? Okay? Actively practicing listening to yourself is what builds up your intuition, and you're going to need it. You're not going to be able to depend on what you read or what you read. You're not going to be able to depend on people like me who take information and give it back to others so that they can have it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come a time where what I'm saying is not even going to make sense to you. Only what you're saying is going to make sense to you, and because you need to hear it. Okay? So, you have no idea where your intuition will take you. It's so free-flowing, okay? Because we have not seen the plan. We have not seen the end result. We have envisioned it, what we want, and what we want it to look like, but we haven't fully seen it, okay? So there's no telling where your intuition will take you. You've been listening to your mama tell you what to do all these years and all throughout your life, and the one time that you decide to listen to yourself, you move and you get the career of your dreams. You know what I'm saying? That's what intuition can do for you if you listen. It cancels out all the other voices so you can hear yourself, because this is all about zero expectations and zero attachments, okay? That is the something that we all have to learn as a collective on this journey, is that we shouldn't be expecting anything from anyone, and that we should have zero attachment. And that means if something happens where that person hurts you, you understand that that is just a part of your human experience, and you don't take it so much to heart that it alters your journey. Don't let none of these nappy head ass people alter your journey because they still hurting and they need to heal in some areas, okay? Hurt people, and you gonna get hurt, okay? Because we hurt each other, because we're all learning, we're all on this journey together, and all these human experiences is just for character development, okay? So don't get all in your feelings about it. Zero expectation and zero attachments. Think like a Virgo. Got to use your critical mind. Step out of yourself and look at it from the outside, okay? So now you got luck on your side as well. This is a very lucky new moon, by the way, too, if we want to get into some positive notes about it. This is new moon in Virgo. It's a very positive new moon, and it's very new. This is good vibes on me, and that's why I'm yelling at y'all and I'm beating this information into y'all, because I want y'all to get it. I want you to drop off all that baggage and, you know, just continue to transform into, you know, something great. Really walking in your purpose, doing what it is that you're supposed to do. So you have luck with this placement. We have luck with this new moon because Jupiter is retrograde in Aquarius, the planet of luck, inside of the planet of intelligence and innovation and the internet, okay? So, get lucky. It's time for you to get lucky. This is your time to get lucky and set your intentions, okay? So, Mars in Virgo is giving you the gumption to get serious about this transformation. And this is what I want you to do. Take 6 big goals and break them down, each one into 3 small ones. So, take 6 big goals and break each one down into 3 small ones, okay? And work on your list like that. That is going to help you manifest through this new moon, okay? We have this energy all the way to the 8th. From the 6th through the 8th, this new moon is going to be in Virgo before it starts, you know, turning back on around so we can get to work, okay? So, 6 big goals. Break each one down into 3, okay? It's all about passion, purpose, seeing the big picture, getting in tune, okay? So let's do a quick retrograde recap. Who is in retrograde? Jupiter is retrograde in Aquarius, okay? Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius as well. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. So if you've been feeling a little confused about your, you know, your dreams and visions that you might be having, it's okay. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. Pluto is still retrograde in Capricorn, so we still working with that inner child and transforming into the adults that we envision ourselves being, healthy and whole. And Chiron is still retrograde in Aries, and Chiron is all about how we heal. And Aries is helping us get active about it, okay? So write those down, look into those, and look them up with your sign. Use Google, use internet, use all this stuff that you have at the tip of your fingers, astrology books, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And see how those retrogrades might be affecting you. But I just wanted to give you a retrograde recap because sometimes we forget, because we don't really feel them like we feel Mercury retrograde, okay? Because Mercury retrograde is so fast. It's only 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 6 with the post and the pre-shadow time. But all of these are just longer monthly and weekly, longer retrogrades, and we feel the effects different because they're on a collective. Like when Jupiter being Aquarius, we see all the political and the natural changes, and economic and social justice is really big, okay, because that's what Aquarius is all about. It's also the sign of humanity, and Jupiter is all about expansion, okay? Just to give you an example. So go through the retrograde recap, see how it might be affecting your sign. Now let's get to these horoscopes real quick. So this is how this is going to go, because I told you we're going to talk about houses with these horoscopes, okay? And I'm going to do a card pull for each sign after I give you your key word. So let's get into it, okay? Let's work with, you know, I like the Gilded Tarot when we do astrology, because it got all type of little astrology symbols and stuff on it. And, you know, it's my deck where, you know, I write my little notes and stuff on it. So we're going to shuffle and let's talk about it, okay? Let's really talk about it. And if you want somewhere where you can look up really good affirmations and horoscopes too, I like shinynicholas.com. It's CHANINICHOLS.com, okay? I like that site for horoscopes, but this is going to be a little bit different because I want to explain to y'all what these houses are in astrology, okay? So remember, when we talk about horoscopes, we want to look rising sun and moon, because moon is your heart too. So, you know, we are multifaceted people. We don't have to all focus on this. We don't have to focus on too many things at one time. But, you know, just take it into consideration where you might need the most, you know, guidance at or message. Okay. So now that we all shuffled, Let's dig. Heavenly Father and Earthly Mother, we come before you asking for your divine wisdom as we go through and we pull these cards collectively so it can reach the collective, your people, and that you will give me and use me for a message that you will have for them. I thank you and I am grateful. So, cut it. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. And here we go. So, you know, in the Zodiac, we start with Aries. So, Aries. The sixth house, new moon is highlighting the sixth house for you as well. It is in Virgo, but it is highlighting your house of work and routine. So this is a big thing for you around money, okay? It's about money with you right now. You're looking at ways and changes that you could just really get into your bag, okay? So the card that I pulled for you, come on now, the 10 of Pentacles, okay? The 10 of Pentacles, okay? Aries, and your theme is money making as well. So financial stability and things surrounding generational wealth. You trying to figure out how I'm going to get this money so I can live long and prosper, okay? So Aries, 10 of Pentacles, money making, changes. Money is your key word, okay? Making changes to your work, your routine, because the sixth house, because remember I told you I was going to explain to you what these houses mean in astrology. So the sixth house is the house of work and routine, health and wellness, is ruled by Virgo. But this is where we keep our co-workers, because what goes in a house? People. So the sixth house is where you keep your co-workers. So if you want to know how it is, what type of work environment is good for you and what type of co-workers you can and cannot have, check and see what planets are in your sixth house, okay? Moving on to Taurus. Your keyword is SEX, okay? Because the new moon is highlighting the fifth house of pleasure and creativity. And this is also where we house children. So if you want to know what type of parent that you're going to be, or what type of mate that you, well, not necessarily mate, because, you know, the seventh house, we'll get into that in a second, but where your children are, okay? How you are as a parent can be found in the fifth house. And your theme, Taurus, is SEX, okay? So you're getting creative, you're getting into, you know, you're opening up, you're going to higher levels in how you feel pleasure during, you know, the woo-hoo. So for you, we pull a six of Pentacles. So the six of Pentacles is all about debts, babe, back to you, pay increases, business ventures paying off, financial help and assistance, okay? So you getting your money right, and it's gonna make you get your money right. You're gonna be feeling good. So, you know, experiment, get in that bag, okay? Gemini, fourth house is being highlighted for you, and fourth house is the house of family, and it is also where we house our ancestors and our relationship with our mother. So if you want to know something about if you want to know about your ancestors, that's a good place for you to start, is the fourth house. See what planets are housed in the fourth house. And if you want to look at, you know, the dynamic of the relationship between you and your mother, check that fourth house, okay? So that home life is your key word, Gemini. Home life, okay? And the card that I pulled for you is the seven of cups. Choices, options. Don't stay in the clouds too long. Don't be rushed. Divine timing. So just focus on home, okay? Focus on your home life, Gemini, and all things will fall into place. You got options, and we know that it's two people inside of you. So sometimes it's hard for you to make a decision or come up with what it is that you want to do. But take your time. Focus on building up your home life. Focus on home, okay? That's always a good place to start. When you don't know what to do in this world, focus on home. Take a look at your house. Get your house together, okay? Home life, okay? Choices, options, divine timing, Gemini. Cancer, your keyword is speak up, okay? Because the new moon is highlighting the third house of communication for you, Cancer, okay? Cancer, third house is communication, but it's also where we house our siblings and our neighbors. So speak up, Cancer. And the card that I pulled for you is the King of Cups. King of Cups connects people, deep wisdom and love, loving and thoughtful, in touch with everyone that they love. And what's that up there? Saturn. And Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius right now. Okay, so look into that, Cancer. Look into that Saturn in Aquarius retrograde. So, Leo, your keyword is prosperity, okay? Because the new moon is highlighting the second house, which is about possession and the stuff that we value, our stuff, how we obtain the things that we have and gather and keep and hold on to, okay? So, Leo, prosperity is your keyword. You are focused on your growth financially. And the card that I pulled for you is the Five of Swords, okay? What's the Five of Swords about? Hidden agendas and winning through cheating or dishonesty. So you see what's going on here? You see it was a battle and they lost. And it's basically, you know, maybe he cheated to get to where he was or whatever he did. But I'm not encouraging you to do that. But it is encouraging you to watch for hidden agendas and make sure that we all of our ducks in the line and we're not scamming and jamming to get to where we want to be, okay? Prosperity, we want to build wealth, okay? Getting rich isn't that hard, okay? If you have the, if you have the confidence to do a lot of illegal activities, getting rich will not be hard for you. But when you're trying to build something, when you want to build something with a firm foundation, a righteous foundation, and I say righteous because when you pass it on, you can pass it on in good, in good standing and sleep at night knowing that you didn't pass on your family a bunch of problems and stuff, because those things are going to come back. Karma is real, okay? Karma is very much real. So, you might be able to slide with a few things, but don't make it a lifestyle and don't try to build your wealth and don't try to build your generational wealth on it, because all you are doing is creating another generational curse, okay? So prosperity. Virgo, this is your season, so your keyword is going to be self-care, okay? You are looking at yourself because it highlights your house. This is your house. House 6 is your house with work, hobbies, health, and also, co-workers. So make sure you're taking it easy at work, Virgo, and really paying attention to what it is that you want to do, okay? This is your time to really transform. And the card that I pulled for you is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is no cutting corners, steady and trustworthy financial breakthrough. All about the Pentacles, baby. Okay? Libra, your keyword is daydream. And daydream because house 12. Now, house 12, that is the house where we kind of house our hidden things, okay? The subconscious, the things in the back of your mind, the things that we don't talk about, our traumas and all those type of things, okay? And for you, I pull the devil, okay? And that's all about being a slave to the darkness. And this, I'm not surprised, comes up with, the new moon highlighting house 12 for you, because whatever this thought or whatever this thing is that's going to come up for you, just make sure that you are in the right place, because your key word is daydream for a reason. So it's time for you to go in and reflect on your self-conscious and see what you might be a slave to, what you might need to be released from, what you need to be freed from, or what you need to let go. Okay, Libra. Scorpio. Okay. Standout friend is your keyword, because the new moon is highlighting house 11, which is the house of friends, groups, and clubs and shit that we're a part of. And the card that I pulled for you, Scorpio, is going to be the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is all about shadows coming to a light and separation, okay? Because what is Swords? Swords is the house, and it's mental. That's our mental house, the house of our mind, our thoughts, air, swift, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So Scorpio, while you are popular, because work ethic has been a big thing for you this year, Scorpio, so you have been gaining popularity just through your work, okay? While that might be true, there's going to be separation and some shadows are going to come to the light, especially when we're amongst friends and we start growing. Not all of our friends can go with us. So expect anytime that you gain friends, expect to lose some, okay? Sagittarius, your keyword is truth, okay? the sign of adventure and journey, Sagittarius. You are scaling through the house 10. 10 is about our social status, how we are seen in the public eye, and it's also the house where we house our relationship with our father. So if you want some information about your relationship with your father, check and see what planets are in house 10 and look it up. Okay, and the card I pulled for you, Sagittarius, is Judgment. Now, I just said that your keyword is truth, and the card I pulled for you is Judgment. Calling higher truth. Okay, I wrote it right there, off my notes. Higher truth, judgment, and karma. So it's time to live in your truth, Sagittarius, while the new moon is highlighting your house of public status and how you are seen in the public eye. Walk in your truth, okay? Get to your calling. Aquarius, your keyword is transformation. Aquarius, you've been going through changes all years, evolving and growing, and got big planets retrograding in your sign and all type of stuff going on. And house 8 is the house of rebirth and sex, and also how we grieve and take loss. So the card that I pulled for you, Aquarius, is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands, and it's all about triumph, recharging, a vacation, connection, and stability. And I had a tarot reading Tuesday of this week, and it was talking about these same things: connection, getting grounded, and transformation is just really growing the fuck up, basically. Okay. And last but not least, we have Pisces. Pisces, your keyword is going to be teamwork, because the new moon is highlighting house 7 for you, and that is the house of partnerships, marriages, and enemies, business partners, and clients. Okay, house 7 is all about partnerships in home, in-house, and your relationship, not just your relationship with your kids and your mom and all them. I'm talking about your love, your spouse, your significant other relationship, as well as your business partners, clients, and enemies. Okay, so if you want to see how you deal with conflict in those type of areas, and how you deal with those type of people, or why you might have issues, or where you might have issues, check and see what planets are in the 7th house. So teamwork, Pisces, and the card that I pulled for you, hello, Two of Cups, connection, unbreakable bonds, and twin flames. Okay, this is also the card of twin flames. So, connection, I said teamwork. Okay, it's time to get connected. Connection came all up and through these reads, right? Because it's Virgo season. It's Virgo season, so let's get into it. And on this new moon, when you're manifesting, make sure that you're manifesting in clarity, and that that you're taking your emotions out of it and putting your intuition into it, so you can manifest what you need and not just what you want, okay? Because even though you might be satisfied with what you want, what you need is going to sustain you and take you much further. So that concludes this Ratchet Astrology video, okay? Are y'all ready? Because I'm so ready. I can feel it in the air that this season is going to be great. And I cannot wait to see you guys on the full moon, where we talk about what we were able to manifest with this information that we have now, okay? So remember, look at the houses in astrology when you want to look into your relationships and why they are the way they are, some activity might be going on. Make sure that you go through the retrograde recap so you can see the areas that you can, actively make changes in. Go back and look at the information, because all retrogrades make us do is look at what we might have missed before, okay? Like, hey, wait a minute, that's not how that works. This is how this should be. That's what retrograde is for. So make sure that you go back through the retrograde recap, take those keywords and horoscopes, and give yourself something to work on for the next 2 weeks. And happy manifesting under this new moon in Virgo, because baby, it's good vibes only. Okay, so I will see you guys at the full moon. And also, I had a special request to talk about a video about inner work, inner child work, and shadow work. So I am going to put together a list of things that I do for my shadow work, and how I was able to deal with my inner child and my inner child issues, because there are plenty of them, and we're going to get intimate. I'm going to talk about some of those things, my background, and how I grew up, and how my inner child was affected, and how I'm just loving on her right now. So I love you guys, and I will see you in 2 weeks. All right.